Every year since 9/11, Hofstra University students, alumni, staff, administration, and family members have held remembrances to mark the anniversary.
September 11th is a day seared into our consciousness. And whether we lost a loved one or mourned along with the nation for those who we never met, each of us holds the memory of those events deep within us.
This year, to mark the 10th anniversary, Hofstra is conducting an even more extensive series of special events, exhibits, and remembrances of the attacks of September 11, 2001. The university's Department of Special Collections is currently showing an exhibit called Hope and Healing. The display features video and still images of the devastation and destruction in New York City, photos of memorials set up around Long Island, as well as artistic and community projects done in response to the events of that day. The exhibit includes historic video shot by a Hofstra TV journalism student at Ground Zero and surrounding blocks on 9/11. Freshmen and sophomores at Hofstra would have been in the age range of 8 to 10 years old, and memories for them of that day are quite vivid.
I remember I was 10 years old, and I was sitting in my classroom, and we kind of saw smoke outside, and we sensed something happened. Everyone was frightened, and they were evacuating the building, calling parents. So I was rushed suddenly home, and I remember experiencing the first week. It was hard to leave the house because there was sense of racism and hatred feeling because I'm Indian, and yeah, it was a really tough experience.
My memory was I got back from school and I turned on the TV and see oh wow, the towers just fell. And I remember my dad was in the city that day for some business trip or something, and I called him right away. I'm like, "Are you all right? What happened? What happened?" He was just telling me "Oh no, a bunch of people just running around, just going crazy, just complete mayhem." And he was just telling me "Oh yeah, just a bunch of smoke everywhere." And I was like, "Well, at least you're all right." And he was like, "Yeah." And he got back the next day fine.
At that time, I had a stepfather who was a police officer in the NYPD. He was there, rushing people out of the World Trade Center, and let me try to remember. He was on the one of the look back videos, like they play every year on the history channels and stuff. You can see him in the video and everything. But yeah, I didn't exactly know what the World Trade Center was at that time, but I mean, that's still traumatic.
Hofstra professor Bill Jennings' memory was of a city that day brought closer together.
I remember after the event, I went into Central Park, and it seemed like the whole city had come out with their families and were walking together in Central Park. It was just almost as if to say, we refuse to change our lives, we refuse to be cowed by this event. And it was an act of both defiance and strength and a sobering reality that perhaps we might have to fight for our freedoms or be active about what we do.